What are the facts around the dispute? So, on January 12, 2018, Australia demanded discussions with Canada in regard to measures upheld by the Canadian government and the Canadian provinces of British Columbia, Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia concerning the sale and trade of wine. Australia appealed that the measures seemed to be inconsistent with the GATT Articles 3 Part 1, 3 Part 2, 3 Part 4, 17 Part 1, and 24 Part 12. There were also numerous countries who joined the dispute as third parties. So the main issue highlighted in this dispute is Australia's claims against Canada for practicing measures that seem to be inconsistent with the numerous GATT articles when it comes to the sale of Australian wine. Australia is claiming that Canada are being discriminatory in their actions by upholding rules which require foreign wines to be placed at the back of shops. Australia is wanting to hold meetings with Canada in order to contest these rules and ensure that moving forward the sale of wine in Canada, whether foreign or local, is of equal grounds. So this dispute has been formalised as a complaint lodged with the World Trade Organization. This process began on the 16th of January 2018 when Australia demanded for consultations with Canada. So the international trade laws that are relevant to the dispute is that Australia, as a participating party, is requesting consultation with Canada as they are claiming that numerous distribution, licensing and sales procedures, in particular merchandise markups, marketplace access, listing rules and duties, and taxes placed on national and local wine may discriminate both openly and indirectly against foreign wine. So the parties' main claims are that the BC wine processors offer a myriad of advantages to BC wine through the implementation of measures which grant BC wines with exclusivity and dominant market share. Furthermore, Australia is claiming that the measures seem to discriminate against foreign wines by allowing only BC wine to be sold on ordinary grocery store shelves, whilst foreign wines have stricter and more disadvantageous policies by only being able to be sold in certain stores. Australia is also claiming that Canadian wine measures provide benefits to Canada by granting Canadian liquor stores with more access to local Canadian wines rather than imported foreign wines. So, as a whole, all of these measures seem to be inconsistent with Canada's requirements in accordance with GATT Articles 3, 17 and 24. Firstly, a breach is that Australia is claiming that there is a breach of Article 3 Part 1 and 3 Part 2 of the GATT. Australia has highlighted that Canada has applied internal taxes or other internal charges of any kind to products imported into Canada, more than local Canadian products themselves. So as a result, Canada may be doing this as a way of protecting their own local products. This is a breach of the article and should be investigated in the dispute. Moreover, Australia is claiming that there has also been a breach of Article 3, Part 4 of the GATT. According to this article, Canada, as an importing party, has a duty to ensure that any imported product shall be treated no less favourable to similar products of Canadian origin. By placing foreign wines at the back of the grocery store, Canada is breaching this article. So Article 17 Part 1 of the GATT has also been breached because the Provincial Alcohol Control Board / Commissions of British Columbia, etc., as state trading companies aren't behaving in a manner adhering to the general rules of non-discriminatory treatment as formally written in the GATT for government policies impacting imports by private merchants. So lastly, there has also been a breach of Article 24 Part 12 because Canada has not taken the sensible precautions which may be available to it to ensure the recognition of the provisions of the GATT by regional and local governments and authorities within Canadian land. So in this dispute, the main stakeholders interested would be Canadian and Australian companies who are importers and exporters of wine. So how I think the dispute will be dissolved, I believe that Australia will win against Canada as they have very sufficient evidence to support their claims. As Canada has breached numerous GATT articles, Australia can use this to their advantage in order to protect themselves and overall win the dispute. So I believe both Canada and Australia will be be impacted. So firstly, Canada may experience a reduction in sales of local Canadian wine as they will no longer be favoured. So in turn, this may impact local Canadian wineries and businesses as profits will decrease. On the other hand, as there are no longer favourable policies in place, foreign wine, including Australian, will experience higher sales, and overall, this may increase profits for Australian exporters as ultimately they are no longer discriminated against.